Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Hare Premanande.
Hari 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 Bol. Vanchakalpatrubhascha kripasindhabeva patitanam bhavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome back as we continue gaining momentum for the global distribution of Srila Prabhupada's books as a team, looking towards improving all the aspects of our life by engaging in direct devotional service, by performing the loudest type of kirtan that there is, beating the Brihat Madanga. Literature is beloved in human society because humans have an aesthetic sense through which they can appreciate beauty, art, literature, philosophy. However, there is no philosophy that equals the Srimad Bhagavatam. There is no literature in the world that comes close because Tadvagvisargo Janataga Viplavo Yasmin Prati Shlokam Abhadyavatyapi Namanyanantasya Yashon Kitani Yat Shrinvanti Gayanti Grananti Sadhava. It's from a different creation. It comes from Goloka Vrindavan. It's about our relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It's the one thing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to teach. He wanted the people of the world to know about their relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And there's only one place you're going to find it, and that's in the Srimad Bhagavatam. It's full of beautiful verses. Anantyanantasya. And it's packed full of the names, Namanyanantasya, of the unlimited Supreme Personality of Godhead. And so when the books go into people's homes, offices, then the effect of the holy name begins to change their lives. It begins to change the world. It emanates, does the powerful internal energy of the Lord from the Srimad Bhagavatam itself. Books cannot be denied because once somebody takes the trouble to write something down and put it in a cover, publish it, which is a lot of work. It's like making a building. Prabhupada said every time he published a new book, it was like conquering an empire. And once the book is available and it's out, nobody can stop it. Big government leaders can't stop it. Other organizations that are against it can't stop it. The books have a life of their own. It's insidious. It goes out into the world in the positive spiritual sense, insidious, and then has its effect. We can inculcate Krishna consciousness into the world through book distribution. It's how ideologies take hold in human society. It's through books. It's through literature. We've been handed this service lovingly by the best acharya, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Why I say best? Because he has taken the teachings of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, the examples of Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, everything Gaurkishore Das Babaji Maharaj, encapsulated in his writings, his example, and in his process. And everything's available for the human to improve in every aspect of life. So it's the most worthy cause, and there's two elements that are most important in our campaign. One is confidence. We have to have confidence in the Srimad Bhagavatam ourselves by reading it every day, at least a set number of pages, because we have to be feeling the effects of the medicine ourselves. And it's there for anyone who takes the time to expose him or herself to the medicine, chikitsitam, vidhunoti, of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Such a person will naturally be inclined to share it with others. So we have to have confidence also that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will come to help us in whatever goals we set with firm conviction. In other words, we decide we're going to do this come what may. Just like Arjuna, he decided, I'm going to fight this battle at Kurukshetra and I'm going to win for Krishna. So we should have the same spirit that we're going to win for Srila Prabhupada and we're going to hit these goals. And we have to have confidence that Lord Chaitanya will come and help us. And the second most important aspect of our campaign is advocacy. It has the word vak in it. It means we have to talk about it. We have to talk about the importance of it internally to our own colleagues within the Krishna consciousness movement in a gentle way, in a way that they'll appreciate, because we need full cooperation. That means everybody doing their little bit, whatever part it may be. And we also need advocacy from the executive branch of our organization, the leaders who are showing us the way through their example and also setting policy for ISKCON and vision and so forth. Advocating is powerful because we create with our words. And so nary a negative word about book distribution should be heard. We have to make it sweet and nice, but we also have to advocate for it at every corner because Prabhupada advocated for it, and it's the tip of the spear of our Sankirtan movement. So thank you very much, everybody. It's heartfelt to see all of you. My humble obeisances to Srila Prabhupada and to all the devotees who are present here today. I see so many great sages. Ambarishi Maharaj, thank you very much for coming back. Just seeing you here gives us strength to again take up this task. Shikshashtaka Prabhu, Hare Krishna, great to see you. Nityananda Ashraya, so many great devotees from all over the world. It's the actual impetus that we have for doing this is to come together as one team. So today we're going to be hearing from various devotees who have personal realization about the process of distributing Srimad Bhagavatams. And we'll have a 1-minute break so you can all stand up in the middle of this. There'll be a halftime show. So let's hear from the co-Sankirtan leader of ISV about how to distribute sets. She'll be presenting for about 15 minutes. Malini Mataji of ISV, please tell us what you've learned. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances, all Vishnu Prabhupada, and my humble obeisances to all the devotees present on the call. Today we actually going to share a few tips on how to distribute Bhagavatam or calling parties. We are actually trying different strategies and we are sharing whatever is working here at ISV. You're all the experts distributing sets, but these are just a few things that are working out here that we are sharing. First thing about the calling parties is that like when you have to buy a new home, the most important thing is they say location, location, location. And similarly for calling parties, the most important thing is contacts, contacts, contacts. Without contacts, there's nobody to call. So we set a time for a calling party. We have it on a weekly basis. You could do monthly, weekly, daily, whatever suits your temple needs. And what we found is that the contacts that you have within your congregation or the friends of your friends, those are the most productive ones. And we are finding lately that sometimes people are uncomfortable talking to their own contacts because they feel that it pressurizes them to take Srimad Bhagavatam, but not a problem. Or if you think that you need some support, it's not a problem too, because now we are doing 3-way calling. If you're not comfortable, then just introduce one of the devotees as your friends and say that you're working as a team together for this project, and the other person can make a presentation that takes the pressure off of you to do the presentation and ask for a donation. So that's one thing that we are doing, and all you need is a phone for this calling parties. You don't have, if you don't know how to do Zoom presentations and everything, no problem. Just use a phone, and we make most of our calls using the phone, and we just call them and we just make a quick connection with those with the other person, and we are going to show a skit where we just demonstrate all these steps, so it is easy for you to relate. And in the presentation, when you make a connection, the most important thing is to find one personal thing that connects to that person. It could be a place, it could be something that you like. You can just use anything to make a connection. Once you make a connection, they actually open up. And once the hearts open up, then you can actually speak to them and they will listen to you. And even though in the beginning you're introducing saying that I'm calling you for this purpose, after the connection, they might be wondering, why are you calling me anyway? So restate your purpose after you make a connection, saying that, hey, coming back to the point why I called you, this is the cause. I'm trying to do a project called Go Matsya, where we're trying to preserve this ancient literature, and then restate the cause. And the next step is to make a quick presentation. This part could be very small, or it could be really long as well. But most of the cases, what we found is that the presentation is very quick. We are not making a long presentation because people don't have so much time. Just do some very important things about Srimad Bhagavatam. Just say what it is. It is written by Vyasadeva, why he wrote it. Very quick presentation. And while you're doing presentation, engage them in the conversation. Just don't make it a monologue, but make it a dialogue. Like ask some questions relevant to that, and they will feel engaged. If you just start speaking only as a monologue, they actually might feel bored after some time, because most of it they may not be able to relate to. But if you ask a question, and based on the question, you can pick something from Srimad Bhagavatam and connect to that. And after doing a small presentation, then jump right into the call for action, saying that what they will be wondering after the presentation. So what do you need from me? Why are you calling me? Then that's it. That's where you can tell them that I'm calling because I wanted to tell you that how you can be part of this preservation project. And this is the part you can do. You can say, like, take a set of Srimad Bhagavatam and preserve this ancient knowledge. Then ask for a donation from them. And then recently what we have found is that because of the pandemic going on in India again, we are trying to offer a special puja for all the people who are suffering with this due to this pandemic. And we say in the end that we'll make a special puja on your name to Lord Nrsingadev. So please give us your name and your gotra, so that we can actually put that and in a puja for you to Lord Nrsingadev. And we found that a lot of people are very happy to hear this, and they're saying that, maybe you should talk to one of my friends, because I think she also needs a puja. So like that, you can actually make a connection for the referral for future, and take their contact information, thank them, and that's it. So these are just the simple steps that I've just listed down, but we will show you as a demonstration on how this can be done. The other thing I also wanted to share is that recently we have found a devotee who lives in Oklahoma. They don't have a temple congregation there, but she really wanted to distribute Srimad Bhagavatam sets. And she joined our calling party. We asked her to join, then she joined, and then we just gave her a small presentation on how to distribute Srimad Bhagavatam. But she was very nervous to call her friends. So she just asked if we can call. So we just joined the three-way calling party. And we distributed 5 sets of Bhagavatams to her contacts. But not only that, she got a hang of it in this 5 sets. And then she started on her own, and she distributed 2 Bhagavatam sets on her own. Not only that, she actually trained other devotees in that congregation. And yesterday, she just shared that one of the devotees also distributed 1 more set of Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is very easy if you try at least to do 1 set on a 3-way calling, to observe how the other person is doing. And Shamoini Mataji is going to share a link where you can sign up if you want one of us to be there in your calling party, or if you can join the calling party that ISV is organizing, so you can come and join. So actually, we want to do a live presentation of how we distribute books on calling parties. So we have Sri Krishna Purushottam Prabhu, who is trying to distribute a Bhagavatam set to one of his contacts. And Sri Krishna Purushottam Prabhu, would you? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu, for joining the calling party.
Thank you. Yeah. So I would like to talk to my friend.
Oh, you don't feel comfortable, Prabhu, because
Yes, Mataji. Yeah,
he's
yeah,
very-
yeah. She's my classmate, and she knows me. I'm Hare Krishna. So and yeah, when I talked to her, she said something. I mean, she may not like it, so I'm not comfortable talking to her. But she's a good friend. She's very pious. I think with your magic, you can distribute a set for her.
no problem,
Can,
Prabhu.
yeah.
I can try.
Okay. So
Maybe
what
we
we can do
can,
is, oh, go ahead. No, we can
maybe you can
invite her to
introduce
our,
her.
yeah, sure. Yeah, we can call her into our Zoom meeting now in the calling party, or we
Okay.
can have a breakout room. So, and then I'll introduce to you as Malini, and then you please take it over, Mataji.
Okay, Prabhu. Okay,
Okay.
let me try.
Okay, let's see. She joins the call now. Okay.
Shri
Okay.
Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Prasadi Shri Gaur Bhaktivinoda.
Hare
Yes, Prabhu.
Krishna. Okay, yeah, I'm inviting her. Her name is Sirisha.
Okay.
Hare Krishna. Can you unmute yourself? Okay, there you go. Hare Krishna. Hi Sirisha, how are you?
Fine. How are you?
I'm doing good. Actually, today I'm calling with one of my friend. She's from our temple. Her name is Malini Mataji. She's expert in Srimad Bhagavatam. Do you remember long time ago I told about these books and you said is 18 books is lot for you.
Yes.
I hope your children and everybody is fine. You're back in India.
Yes, we are all fine. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So you have few minutes to talk to my friend.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Hare Krishna. Can please connect.
Hi, Sirisha.
Hello.
I'm Malini. I'm calling from ISKCON.
Oh, very nice meeting you.
Yeah, thank you so much for taking your time to get onto this call. I'm a software engineer by profession. What do you do?
So I'm a homemaker.
Oh, so you have a lot of time to do some creative things.
Yes, I have 2 kids. Yes.
Oh, I see. Where are you from in India? I'm thinking based on your name and your voice, you're from India?
Yes, we are from South India, Andhra Pradesh.
Oh, Andhra Pradesh. I'm
Yes.
from Andhra Pradesh too. Which part?
So near Guntur, Vijayawada border, Tenali we are in.
Oh. Did you hear of a place called Mangalgiri?
Oh yes, yeah, very near. We grew up by going darshan and taking darshan. Pankal Swami. Yeah.
Wow. You must be very fortunate. I have a desire to go and see Nashingadev there. He's called Panakala Narasimha Swami there, right?
It's very famous temple. Yes.
Yeah. I have a desire to go. I've never been to Mangalgiri. I always had this desire. But I'm so happy that you have been there and you got darshan. I feel so connected to that place just by hearing your voice. It is so nice. Yeah. Anyway, you said you have 2 kids.
Yes.
Oh, how old are they?
So one is going to elementary and one is going to high school.
Oh, wow. Very nice. Well, I'm so happy to speak to you. And I just wanted to let you know that we are doing this small project, which is called as Go Matsya. And your classmate, Krishna, and I, we are working together on this project. And what we do is we are trying to preserve this ancient knowledge, which is called Srimad Bhagavatam. Have you heard about Srimad Bhagavatam before?
Yes, yes, I heard about Srimad Bhagavatam. So my friend told me. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah,
Well, one thing I can say is that you're very fortunate to have such a nice friend.
yes,
Very rare to find this in this present day and age. So, since you already know about Srimad Bhagavatam, I will just tell you very briefly that this is the essence of all Vedic knowledge. Vyasadeva wrote Vedas, then he wrote Itihasas, Puranas, and he wrote Mahabharat. But he was unsatisfied still, and then his guru Narada Muni came and told him that you should write Srimad Bhagavatam, which and this is the last literature that Vyasadeva wrote. And Vyasadeva is brilliant because he did this in the form of stories. That facts tell, but stories sell, right?
yes, yes,
Have you ever found that you like to read a story rather than reading only philosophy?
yes.
Yeah, Vyasadeva knew that perfectly well, so he actually put that in the form of stories. So it is actually catchy because once you start reading the stories, you won't even know that there is a moral already there in that.
Okay.
So it's really nice. And you said you have kids, right?
Yes,
And what I found is that actually children really like these stories from Srimad Bhagavatam, and you can give them and they can read one story, they can read translations if they want. There's so many pictures in these books, and these pictures actually are windows into spiritual world.
okay. So
You-
I don't know about any stories from Srimad Bhagavatam. How can I engage? Is there any particular stories that kids can read? And yeah, we don't know. There are 18 books. I'm wondering where can we start? How to start with reading with our kids?
wow, first of all, let me tell you, you're really intelligent because you already know that there are 18 books, and you're asking the right questions. You're thinking about already getting the books and how to start. We will actually give you a small document which tells you which canto has which stories, and children can start with those stories first, or you can read to them those stories first, and then you can go back from the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And it has stories from the Dashavataras, Dhruva Maharaj story, and then they have Prahlad, they have Lord Ramachandra stories. Lord Krishna stories are there in 4 books in this 12 cantos, 18 volume series.
Oh, nice.
And I'm so happy that you're already thinking about reading these books. Thank you. Thank you so much. So I know that since you already know about Bhagavatam, let me just come back to the main point is that these sages actually have given this knowledge. They have passed it down. And it is now our turn to pay forward to our next generation. So all we are trying to ask is we are requesting everybody to help preserve this Vedic knowledge. Our teacher said that the best way to preserve is through mass distribution and education. So if you preserve one set of Srimad Bhagavatam in your home and then read it for yourself and pass it on to generation after generation. I heard that the paper that they use for printing, it will last for 500 years. So you can imagine 5 generations can make use of these books.
Very nice. Okay. Yeah, I was hesitate because so much philosophy. I don't have any background. How can I read and how can I engage my family in this? That's why I was hesitate to take before. But I'm very glad these are all story based and so many pictures they have in that books. I'm very glad. Thank you.
Wow, wow! I'm so happy to meet you today. And we are actually shipping these books directly to your home.
Okay.
So we will send it to you. If you can give us your address, you can text me your address, and then we will send them to you. And these books are priceless, so we don't sell them. They're too valuable to sell. But we just ask for any donation. Generally, people give about $250 for donation, but you don't have to limit yourself for 250. You can do as much as you want. So I'll send you the PayPal account. We take PayPal, Venmo, Zelle, Cash App, whatever is comfortable for you.
Sure. Yes, I will take it from PayPal. We will try to donate
Prabhupada. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm so
Yeah.
grateful. And there's one more thing I wanted to mention is that, because people in India, a lot of them and their family members are going through such a tough time. We have started doing a special Narsimha Dev puja on their behalf, on everybody's behalf. So since you have actually taken the Srimad Bhagavatam set, we would like to offer this puja as a reciprocation to you. So if you can send your name and your gotra, we can just include that in the puja that we'll perform on your family's behalf.
Oh, very nice idea. Yes, very much needed. Everyone is suffering now. Yes, I like this idea very much. And one of my friends' family is also suffering a lot. She lost his father, and she can't go at this point to India. So
Oh.
yeah, so I will refer to my friend also. Yeah, she's looking for this puja and some peace actually. So maybe you can try with her also.
Okay. Thank you. We will pray for your friend, and if you can please share your friend's phone number and the contact information so that we will call, and we will also include her in the puja. And we will also, is it okay if we present Srimad Bhagavatam to her and
Yes,
give your referral?
yes, you can take my referral. No worries. Yeah, you can use my name. She's my very close friend.
Thank you so much, Sirisha. Krishna Prabhu, thank you so much for connecting to Sirisha. It is such
Uh,
a
just
wonderful
Malim,
friend.
yeah, Malimata, one thing to say, Sirisha, we are not selling anything here. As you know, we just giving this Srimad Bhagavatam, and I'll drop it tomorrow. Don't worry.
Yeah,
And I'm vaccinated, so you yeah, I can drop it up in front of your house, okay? And
sure.
then, and regarding donation, don't worry. You can PayPal it whenever you have time. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you
And
very
also,
much.
Sirisha, if you're interested, we have a follow-up program called Bhakti Community, where
Okay.
people who have actually taken Srimad Bhagavatam and who are interested in spirituality, we have a program for them. And our teacher, he's really nice. He's really expert in connecting new people and giving them the philosophy in a very digestible format. So if you're interested, I'll add you to that program as well.
Oh, that will be very nice. Yeah, yeah, because yeah, taking books and placing it on the shelf is not good. Yeah, yeah, I will be very much interested. This is very nice thing that you are doing. Thank you so much.
Well, I wish everybody is in the world is just like you, Sirisha. Um, and thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time. Hare
Thank you.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for your time. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, devotees, for listening to this. And these are a few things that we wanted to share from ISV. Hare
Thank you
Krishna.
very much, Malini. Thank you very much, SKP. Thank you very much, Risha. That was invaluable to hear exactly what takes place on a call, and it was expertly done. Next, we have Gopal Champu Prabhu, full-time book distributor, now operating out of New York City, and he's going to be talking about how to distribute to new audiences. Gopal Champu, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisance. All glory to Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my obeisances. Thank you all for giving me an opportunity to come here and share something. So, we've had some experience of distributing books, distributing specifically Srimad Bhagavatam sets to newcomers, specifically to Westerners. And there's been a different, maybe a couple different categories I've noticed. One would be qualified first-time buyers. So by this, I mean people that have some previous knowledge of what are the Vedas or have read Bhagavad Gita or something like that. So one such example, I met one gentleman who had some knowledge about Lord Shiva. So in this case, what I did was I took the angle of, okay, so I'm going to present the Bhagavatam to him And specifically because he has some affection towards Lord Shiva, I'll present the aspects of Bhagavatam that are presented to Lord Shiva. So what I did was I took the fourth canto and I showed him the song of Lord Shiva there and showed him the pictures in the eighth canto, and that sold him just on that point. So there are people that are knowledgeable of the Vedas and I've gotten some knowledge because, as we know, Bhagavad Gita it's a widely read book, and in that case also people are becoming more aware of the Vedas. So another thing was I met a gentleman who was interested in Sanskrit. So this is another big selling point. You can just present right from the Bhagavatam. You can show them. You see here's the Sanskrit, here's the word for word meaning, and you can learn Sanskrit just by taking these books. So that's one thing that has worked out for us. One other approach we've had is I coined it as long-term sales. So this is a category of people which when you first make initial contact with them, you might just distribute to them maybe just one science of self-realization or one Bhagavad Gita. But what we do is we collect their contact information and then we join them to a regular reading group. We have a couple going on here, one of science of self-realization, and we have another one going on for Bhagavad Gita every week. So we've noticed that once you get people attached to reading Srila Prabhupada's books, this is kind of like the golden ticket, you can say, and then once they become attached, and then those customers that you've already sold to, they're the best customers you have. So then sometime then down the future, you'll be able to then present the Bhagavatam to them. And as you're going along, studying the book, reading with them every week, they'll see Prabhupada mentions Bhagavatam everywhere. So therefore, then you can kind of just, in time, they'll become inquisitive on their own on asking about the Bhagavatam. And then we have cold sales. So now this is a little more tougher one, of course, but it's also it's possible. And the way I've experienced it, I remember one particular experience with one lady. She was into Buddhism, and so, but she had no idea what the Vedas were or anything like that. But I asked her if she liked to read. This is one of the things we do to qualify people. Do you like to read? On a scale of 1 to 10, how much? And if they say 10, you say, great, I have something to show you. And I got this point from one time His Grace Vaisheshwar Prabhu was mentioning how Vijay would bring out an entire Bhagavatam set and set it up on the street. And then this was I think during one Rath Yatra. So we go out daily on book distribution. So we happened to start bringing out a Bhagavatam set also and setting it up on the table. So I happened to have the Bhagavatam set that day and I had it set up. So when this lady approached and I asked her how much she liked to read, she said 10. And I said, great, I have something for you. And so I just gave a quick nutshell presentation of the Srimad Bhagavatam. And what we do is we usually just tell them, these are like the encyclopedia of the Vedas. And it is the condensed essence. And we start to present some of the verses from the Bhagavatam. So for example, we'll present verse 113, Nigama Kalpataro Ghalitam Palam Sukha Mukha Amritam Drabya Samyutam Pibhata Bhagavatam Rasamalayam Muhu Ahorasika Bhuvi Bhavuka. And we show them. You see, this book here contains the essence of all the Vedic wisdom. And then we show them the second verse, which states that Nirmatsaranam Satam. So we tell them that this literature has been accepted and presented by those persons whose hearts are fully pure, they're free from envy, and their only objective in living is to benefit all others. So they become very grateful, actually, and they can see and they can feel the truth. They can feel the truth. And so once I presented this to her, she became very excited. And then of course comes the time to ask for the donation. So in this point, I found that is very helpful to have installment plans ready to present. Because as soon as you tell them how much it's going to cost, you can tell them, but most people, they do installment plans. And then if you have it ready to present, it's a seamless transition. So like in their mind, you don't leave any room for doubt. You say, and you kind of assume the sale as well. You assume that they're already taking it home. You assume that they're going to put it in their house. What I just do, I just tell them, yeah, that you can do an installment of 3 months, paying $100 a month, and that's less than your cell phone bill nowadays. And then, or you can tell them you can do 6 months, paying $50 a month. At least here, that's what we do. Or you tell them you could do one lump sum, and we'll give you a discount. So I tell them the discount for doing the one lump sum would be $275, whereas if they went for the installments, the total would be $300. And we find that people are very appreciative and very open to receiving it in this way. So that is some of the things we've gathered in doing a little book distribution here. Thank you all for your time and your attention.
Thank you very much, Gopal Champrabhu. We're going to take those gems and utilize them. They're powerful mantras that have descended from Lord Chaitanya through the disciplic succession, and thank you for sharing these weapons with us, transcendental weapons. Now we have a 1-minute break. Everyone please stand up so you give yourself a break. We'll be back here in 1 minute. We have a little a clip to show you during this time with some kirtan and music, so you can stand up and also enjoy the program. Hare Krishna.
These are the Bhagavad. There is no comparison, there is no literature throughout the universe like Srimad Bhagavad. There is no comparison, there is no competition. Every word is for the good of the human society. Every word, each and every word. Therefore, we stress so much in the book distribution. Somewhere or other, if the book goes in one's hand, he'll be benefited. At least we'll see, they have taken so much prize. Let me see what is there. If he reads one sloka, his life will be successful. If he reads one sloka, one word, this is such a nice thing. Therefore, you are stretching so much. Please distribute book, distribute book, distribute book.
Welcome back, everybody. Continuing our program this morning with one of the great leaders from India, Sri Ram Prabhu, who's helped organize the Indian Sankirtan Leaders Team, connecting with all the leaders across India. Happens to be the brother of Sri Krishna Purushottam, who's the co-Sankirtan leader here at ISV. And he's going to start the regional updates in India. Please go ahead, Sri Ram Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji. I'm traveling, so I'm just not turning on my camera. Apologies. This year, the Bhadra is much started earlier. There is a lot of response from Indian community. We had a big gathering of temple presidents last Zoom, like a week ago. Gopal Krishna Maharaj was there, Bhima Prabhu was there, and all the leaders across India were there. So we had presented it, and we have buy-in from the top executives in India to get the 25,000 across the globe. So it's a big thing. Gopal Krishna Maharaj spoke about Bhadra, and he also insisted how individuals in pandemic are getting helped. The devotees who are at homes, they're being very active in their Krishna consciousness much better by joining Bhadra. So that was like a big
buy-in this last week. And right now, and also the update from BBT India is we have a good stock of the books this year. Last time was we had a heavy lay down because of printing and pandemic, but this year a lot of good planning happened from BBT, Bhima Prabhu, Anand Tirtha Prabhu. We have more than 40,000 sets in the stock and more are in printing. So that's a good side of printing part of it. So we are working on with different temples about training and taking pledges. We are in much early game, and we'll have some more news coming up in coming weeks. And I'm happy to have here few leaders. I want to just name it. We have Acharya Ratna Prabhu is a temple president of ISKCON Kolkata. He's also Western East India's divisional representative for Bhadra. Prabhu is there. I'm happy he's there with us today. And we also have Sarva Lakshan Prabhu from Pune, who's taking care of Western WIDC zone. And we also have some more leaders joining today from India. I would like to thank them. Like to hear from Sarva Lakshan Prabhu how they're gearing up in the Pune for 2 minutes, and also like to hear from Sutappa Prabhu from Mangalore, also how from the big temple and the small temple, and then that's pretty much from India's side, Prabhu. Thank you very much. Sarva Lakshan Prabhu, you are there. Somebody has to make him. You can unmute. You're muted, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Go
I am
ahead, please.
audible now.
Yes, it's clear. Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for giving me much opportunity to speak in front of all the senior devotees. It's an opportunity for me to take blessings from all the senior devotees like His Grace Vaisheshwara and many other devotees. So in our Pune last year, actually before this meeting happened, it was very low. Means in our Pune, we distributed highest score of Srimad Bhagavatam distribution for Bhadra was 700 Srimad Bhagavatams. But last year, we took opportunity of these meetings and we applied most of the techniques given by His Grace Vaisheshwara and team. And it helped us so much. And one thing in His Grace Vaisheshwara's meetings, he always says that you must organize. And he himself showed us how to organize. Last year, we have very systematically organized these meetings. And in our Pune also, we have 60 counselors. All these counselors, actually, we never called them and we have not organized very systematically. But last year, somehow by the mercy of His Grace Vaisheshwara, we organized very nicely. We called all the counselors. Each and every counselors, they have 100 counselors under them. And some are 150 like that. And we told them that you have to organize your counselors very nicely. They have their counselors, well-wishers, friends, relatives, everything. And we gave them training. And one of our devotee, Brahmachari, His Grace Toshan Nimai Prabhu, he also conducted some Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita classes. And by that, he also distributed many Sri Chaitanya Charitamritas. And he's organizing very nicely. He has plans, many different plans. And like that, we are not giving a big score for them to distribute. And we say that this year we are celebrating 125 Srila Prabhupada's appearance day. So we should do something like that. And we are telling every counselors, at least 125 Srimad Bhagavatam set you should distribute. And they have counselors, even if one person distributes one Srimad Bhagavatam sets, then they can easily distribute 100 sets. And some will distribute more and some will not distribute because so many things will come. But ultimately, we take help of all the devotees and we give information about Srimad Bhagavatam distribution, some plans, whatever is discussed in this Go to Goloka meetings. And by that, we get helped. And last year, by the mercy of all the devotees and blessings of all the devotees, we could distribute 4,900 Srimad Bhagavatam sets. And this year also we have plan of distributing more than 5,000 Srimad Bhagavatam sets. And we need the blessings of all the devotees of all the areas. And please bless us. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Hare.
Thank you, Darshan Prabhu. Thank you very much. We have Rishi Kumar Prabhu from Delhi. He's also representative of NIDC and also chairman of NIDC. We're very fortunate to have him here. Last year he was driving the whole NIDC and it was fantastic job what he has done. Thank you, Rishi Kumar, for joining, although you have a busy schedule.
Thank you.
Please enlighten us what's going on in NIDC and Delhi.
Hare Krishna. Offer my obeisances to His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu and all the other Vaishnavas. Thank you for this opportunity to speak about something everyone in Delhi is very excited about, which is book distribution. This year has been a little bit more of a washout from last year because again, Delhi has been the hardest hit because of Corona. The opportunity in it is so interesting that our distribution teams are all out. They're out of Delhi, which is the hotbed of Corona, so to say here. They're distributing other places where there's not so much of a Corona incidence, and they've been doing quite well. The key plan that we have for this year, at least for Delhi, is that we are increasing the number of buses and adding a couple of new teams. So I think there's an opportunity to go out in those areas where Corona spread has not been so much, unless of course the government is going to implement the complete lockdown, which is being indicated for the next few days. Although Delhi has been under complete lockdown recently. So one of the opportunity areas that we explored last year, and His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu and others have been constantly stressing on it. This year as well, we're trying that, which is that we had a website called buygita.in, which helped quite a lot. Online distribution of Bhagavad Gita, as well as other books. And last year we did about 450,000 Mahabig books, plus another 3,200 Bhagavatam sets and another 300 Chaitanya Charitamrita sets. So this year we're going to be focusing on a few things, which is one is through this website, and otherwise additional teams will ensure there is more focus on Gita. Bhagavatam, apart from Bhagavatam, we are looking at Chaitanya Charitamrita sets in a big way this time. And most critically, for the 125th anniversary of Srila Prabhupada, the desire has been we've been already checking with BBT, and we'll probably need the good offices of His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu also probably put in a word. We are, because this is a region where people would rather distribute Hindi more than, and read Hindi more than English. So, although it doesn't sound very selfless, the points for Hindi proper Lilamrita 4 as opposed to 7 for English. So if there is a way it can be equalized, it will probably encourage more people to get involved. And just like Bhadra Marathon need not be just for the book Bhagavad, for the person Bhagavad Prabhupada. And this is a book about the person Bhagavad Prabhupada. So there is a way Srila Prabhupada Lilamrit could be a big focus this year for the marathon, as well as Bhadra is one of the wish list components that we have for all of you. And like I said, more teams and more online. And it appears that Delhi is going to be set for a long haul in terms of Corona. So I seek everyone's prayers and blessings that we'll probably be able to find the opportunity out of this adversity and try to please Srila Prabhupada. Hridvag Vapurbe Vidada Namaste, whichever way. We'll try our best to please Srila Prabhupada and the Vaishnavas. His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj has been constantly stressing on book distribution here in all these areas. And as far as NIDC is concerned, the rest of NIDC is concerned, while the thrust on distribution is mostly in Delhi NCR, we are trying to sort of integrate everyone. Fortunately, I have this services as NRDC chairman, and one of the things that we're trying to do is to get the NIDC website very active, which has just been set up recently. And we're going to be frequently monitoring scores, Sankirtan scores across NIDC and sending out regular messages to encourage them. And we'll also try to see if Krishna's Karuna and Krishna's Corona willing, we'll try to find out a way where some of our champion distributors can probably go across to other parts of NIDC where things are not so active and try to get them on board, so to say. To conclude, I just seek blessings for the new initiatives that are coming in, and that we may be able to exercise our capabilities to develop more novel ways of book distribution, as Srila Prabhupada used to say, tax our brains. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you, Rishikmar Prabhu. I just want to have one last speaker, Sutapa Prabhu from Mangalore. It's a very small temple. Just want to show that all the way from Delhi to big temple to small, people are caring up. I just want to welcome also His Grace Kamal Lochan Prabhu, is the temple president of ISKCON Mira Road, is Sankirtan leader, very senior devotee in the movement. Just want to welcome Prabhuji. Go ahead, Sutapa Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. I'm pleased to get this opportunity to speak on this forum where all the leaders all over the world are there. So we had a goal of 50 Srimad Bhagavatam sets to be distributed last year. And what worked best for us is, first thing is joining these meetings. Because before that, we are generally very dormant, and that push to distribute doesn't come until we see all others are doing so nicely. So because if I say one single factor which helped the most us is joining these meetings. So we get these ideas, we tried them here, and that worked. Before last year, we just distributed maybe 5 to 10 sets, but
Did we lost Sutapa? I can't hear him.
Yeah, we lost him.
Okay, thank you. I think we'll connect him back. I just want to add one point of Leelamruts, and there was a great push from Indian Yatra that we should give free Leelamrut with Bhagavatam set. That's been like everybody's talking, so that's like going to happen. And also Brajamohan Prabhu, our junior Sankirtan leader, is want to distribute 125 Leelamruts. He took Sankalpa, so just want to announce everybody. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, everyone, for giving opportunity and time slots. These calls will help, and I think next call will have more strategies, what's going on with some goals across India. Thank you very much.
Sutapa Prabhu has written in the chat 108 goal for this year. Way to go, Sutapa Prabhu. We're really proud of you and excited for the Mangalore Yatra. Thank you, Sri Ram Prabhu, for keeping everything organized, and all the devotees. Thank you very much. You're doing amazing service there in India. We're praying that everyone can stay safe, and we can inundate Bharat with the Srimad Bhagavatam. And now we're moving over to Europe. We have Divyanam Prabhu, who's going to give a 5-minute presentation about what's happening in the EU.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, my obeisances, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. My obeisances to all the Vaishnavas. Thank you for the encouraging responses from the leaders in India. From Europe, just based on last year, we had a goal of 550 sets of Bhagavatam, and we just managed to surpass it. We did about 565 Bhagavatam sets in Europe. And this year, our goal for Europe is 1,000 Srimad Bhagavatam sets. And I've already received goals from many yatras like Germany, Hungary. France is going to confirm in a couple of days. I've also received goals from all the temples in UK. And so combined together, we are working towards 1,000, and we are hopeful that we should not only meet or surpass, we should also try to smash the goal. And one of the strategies which I've been speaking to a couple of other temples in Europe, they also like the idea of what Bhaktivedanta Manor is doing. Uh, Here at the Manor, we had our Maha launch yesterday with Mother Vishaka, His Grace Vishaka Prabhu, His Grace Vaishashika Prabhu was on the call, and also Sutapa Prabhu from our community. And we announced the goal at Bhaktivedanta Manor for 400 Bhagavatam sets. So Manor being a big place, Srila Prabhupada stepped here on many occasions, want to stay ahead in the Europe. So we are hoping to distribute at least 400 sets. And the way we are trying to do it at Bhaktivedanta Manor, the devotees are planning to enroll 400 devotees, each doing one set of Bhagavatam. And that enrollment program has just started yesterday. And we already have nearly 25 devotees who have enrolled. And all the way till the end of June, we will be looking to enroll 400 devotees and beyond as well. But right now, we are doing a strategy to letting the devotees know that this is your chance to make the 125th appearance anniversary of Srila Prabhupada even more special, actually. So, and the idea of always, by the inspiration of His Grace Vaishashika Prabhu and ISV, is that everybody doing a little bit and achieving a big goal. So that's what we are trying to do. And our experience has been here in Europe is the more devotees get involved in this activity, the more enlivened they feel. So that's why we decided, and ISKCON Soho, many other temples are really liking the idea, and they are planning to also look at this idea of reaching out to each devotee. They have 5 months, so they can just do one set of Bhagavatam, and we are also building some packages around it with an idea that you enroll now, and you find a new person who has not heard of Bhagavatam, and there will be courses for that person. We are calling them taster Bhagavatam sessions here in Europe. So those people can be introduced. We will be showing films on Bhagavatam. We will be putting them on these courses. So they feel naturally inspired through this process of Bhadra, hearing it for the 5 months about Bhagavatam, that they take Srimad Bhagavatam set when they go away. So these are some of the updates, Maharaj, from Europe. So all the temples have started the campaign here from last 1 week. Already sets are being distributed, and yesterday's call was so good, Maharaj. All the leaders, there were around 30 leaders on the call yesterday from UK and some from Europe, and they felt so inspired, and they're all going back and looking at the ways of coming together. So these calls again are much appreciated, Maharaj, and we can keep this going. So that's the update I have from Europe, Maharaj, and for all the devotees. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Divyanam Prabhu, for your leadership over there, and all glories to the devotees in the EU, the Manor, Soho. Go to victory. You're going to smash the goal. I'm very confident of that. Tirumala Devi, who's one of the leaders who has emerged during this pandemic time on the world stage, also whose design concepts we've integrated into the Goloka this year. Please tell us how things are going in Africa.
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So at the moment in South Africa, things are going very well. We still have an online shop an online bookshop that's been run in Durban, and that's really been going quite well. There are some other centers in Johannesburg that recently started getting more involved in the campaign, and there was a really nice idea where devotees set up small little online sort of like home programs for families that have bought sets. So that's been quite well received. And so in Kenya, there's a little bit of a challenge at the moment because they're under quite a tight lockdown. And so we can't really get them any sets at the moment. In Mauritius, the ISKCON Vedic Farm has, they're very fired up, and they've doubled their goal to 24 this year from what they did last year. And then we have 2 new countries that are going to be participating this year in Africa, and that's Reunion Island. And the devotees, they are very excited about getting started. And then Zambia as well is going to participate this year. and they aim to distribute 10 Bhagavatam sets.
Thank you very much, Tirumala Devi. And Africa has the potential to be the biggest in the world. It's huge. Thank you very much for organizing over there. And it's heartening to see how the devotees are coming together in the various places all over Africa. Prabhupada would be very pleased with that. So now we're moving over to South America, and we're going to have presentation by the two spark plugs of South America. Are they here? Shamahini, Prema and Premi?
Hi, Krishna Prabhu. They were here, but I think they just got dropped off too. I'm sorry.
Okay, so our default.
Can go on.
Nandini Kishori from North America, one of the great organizers in the North American Yatra. Please tell us what things are looking like from your perspective. You're on mute.
Thank you. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. So we had a very nice meeting with, of course, led by Vaisheshika Prabhu. It was a strategic meeting last week, Monday. And best thing is BBT President Archita Prabhu joined, and stalwart book distributors with 50 plus years of experience like Brigipati Prabhu, Parmeshwara Prabhu, and others joined. We had almost 25 leaders across from North America. All the centers are really fired up. We reviewed our book distribution data from the last few years. We saw what worked, what didn't work, what we can improve on. And we decided our goal for this year for Bhadra Purnima is at least 5,000 Srimad Bhagavatam sets. And many excellent ideas came up. One of the many goals is we want to help and small centers in any capacity, like give them logistics, bring them on board, see what they need. Maybe we can train them up, one-on-one training or however they need it. And we would like to add at least 10 centers who probably were gone dormant in last few years, because teamwork makes dream work. So we feel, Vaisheshika Prabhu, with your blessings and all blessings of all the Vaishnavas present here, that all spiritual warriors in North America are ready for this mission. And Mission Goloka America, we are ready to launch. Watch out, world. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Nandini Kishori Devi, for your stalwart participation in all things that have to do with expanding the Sankirtan movement, and especially for bringing your enthusiasm to the book distribution. It's making a huge difference. And certainly we will smash that goal of 5,000. It's the wealthiest country in the world, and the one that the Prabhupada started, and we can do this no problem. Okay, so now we have a conundrum. We're waiting for Tredas Prabhu, the great leader in Italy, and also Prema and Premni from South America, but somehow or other they're not on right now. We'd like to have Ambarishi Maharaj speak, but we're not sure how the Russian translation will go on.
Hi Krishna, may I request Ambarishi Maharaj, you can hear us, to stop the translation and come back to the main room, and please, if you can speak.
Maharaj, you should be able to speak now. I just removed the translations for you.
You can hear me?
Yes, Maharaj.
This year, all devotees are very inspired in Russia for book distribution. We don't have a lockdown, so everybody is going out on the street and distributing books. In Moscow, we have like 70 brahmacharis that are going out for book distribution. In St. Petersburg, there is a big team of Matajis going out on the street and distributing books. And in many other cities, we have around 100 centers all around Russia. Also, devotees from neighboring countries like Belarus, Kazakhstan, they are also very inspired for book distribution. But mainly devotees are distributing single books. Only some preachers who are giving classes, they are distributing sets like me when I am giving classes in Moscow and other cities. Mainly I'm traveling through different centers. I'm always offering devotees Srimad Bhagavatam sets. From the beginning of this year, I have distributed around 15 Srimad Bhagavatam sets after the classes. We don't have an experience to distribute Srimad Bhagavatam sets outside. Mainly we are distributing single books. I'm distributing to the offices also. When I'm traveling, I'm going to different offices and I'm offering small sets because somehow or other people are very afraid to buy a big library. So I'm offering like 5-6 books and people are very easily taking small sets. Like for last 2 weeks, I was traveling and distributing to the offices, and I came to one office and the boss became very inspired by the books, and he had 6 friends, so he took 6 small sets of 6 books each set. So we don't have big experience with Srimad Bhagavatam sets, but we will try to do it this year for this Bhadra campaign. For many years, I was inspiring devotees to distribute at least some volumes of Srimad Bhagavatam during Bhadra. Every year we were trying to do this, but we never distributed like full sets. So this year will be like innovation for us to distribute this Srimad Bhagavatam sets.
Jai. Jai Iskand, Russia Ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Ambrishi Maharaj, for...
I took some personal goal to distribute like 50 Srimad Bhagavatam sets this year. And we will try to inspire other leaders to set some goals for this Bhadra campaign.
Jai. Thank you very much, Maharaj. Iskand Russia Ki Jai. And now we missed one speaker from India, so we have Sitaram Prabhu.
Sitaram Prabhu, you're there, the call.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat. My obeisance to Vaisheshika Prabhu and all the senior Vaishnavas. Can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah. Just want to introduce Sitaram Prabhu is a part of temple president of Hyderabad, the Tatapur, where he's also in charge. Also has a full-time 40 dedicated book distributors. He runs a center in Bhiwandi, Bombay. Very, very happy to have him here. Last time, whatever Hyderabad sets we got, it's all by Prabhu's push. We did almost 525 Bhagavatam sets last year. So we're fortunate to have Sitaram Prabhu here. Go ahead, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Firstly, I would just like to thank His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu for organizing this whole platform wherein world Sankirtan devotees are coming together and discussing. This is historic. This is the 3rd year we are going ahead with this, and I just want to admit that initially Narottam Priya Prabhu, who's been serving with me from almost 10 years, when he was first involved in the Bhadra campaign, I was just wondering, what is he doing? What is this all about? But then what came out of it, the way devotees were engaged and the way devotees came together, it's just, I just feel when I leave these kind of meetings and the approach of, encouraging each other and planning to distribute Prabhupada's books, Srimad Bhagavatam said, this reminds me of Prabhupada's statement. One devotee was sharing that in the late, in the 70s, 1977, when Srila Prabhupada was not keeping good health. So one of the Sankirtan leaders, Prabhupada, told that I'm leaving the world for you. So I'm leaving the world for you. And these kind of meetings are like that, planning to take over the world by flooding Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavatam sets. So this is so inspiring. Why Shishika Prabhu? I just remember, for me, ISKCON is 1965 to 77. I live in that. I just read about it, and that's my life. And that's it. It's very inspiring. And last year from Juhu, we did around some 1,500 sets, I guess. 1,500, close to 2,000.
Close to 2,000.
Yeah. So we are just planning now, strategizing. We already, when Sri Ram Prabhu is our alarm in India. And he kind of keeps us together and keeps us reminding. So I'm very grateful to him for this glorious service, which he's doing with so many other responsibilities. And because of his reminder, we are put on work that we need to plan. So that's amazing. Thank you very much, Vaisheshika Prabhu and Sri Ram Prabhu. And one more person I would like to thank is, the last year the Bhagavatams were not ready, not our BBT, because I was also serving in the BBT as a warehouse manager for 2 years. And the last year the books were not available because of the COVID print delay by the printers. And I would like to thank Anantirtha Prabhu and Bhima Prabhu, by whose efforts today the whole BBT around the BBT of India is distributing, supplying Srimad Bhagavatam sets around the world actually. English Bhagavatam especially is printed everything in India. So that's an amazing service by Anantirtha Prabhu, who's always encouraging us for book distribution. Thank you very much for creating this platform. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Sita Ram.
Thank you very much, Sitaram.
Great to hear your
Go
voice.
ahead, sir.
I'm right there with you in the 1965 to 1977. Let's bring it back. That's where the excitement is. Thank you very, very much. Very inspiring always. I also want to acknowledge other leaders from around the world. Prabhu from Bangladesh, leading the charge, Bangladesh, Nityananda's place. From the Middle East, we have Naikatma Prabhu, doing a wonderful job. Last year, they went above the call of duty and did huge. In Pakistan, we have Nitya Radha Devi Dasi, who's organizing and inspiring the devotees there. We need this broad-based participation from every part of the world, and it requires in each place an inspired leader who's feeling the inspiration of Lord Nityananda in the heart to stand up and advocate for the distribution of Srila Prabhupada's books in ever increasing quantities for the good of the distributors, the good of our movement, and obviously for the good of everyone who receives them. So now we're circling back to South America, are we? If possible. We have Prema Rupini Madhavi Devi Dasi and Prema Rupa Madhava Das, who are the light of South America. You can see their environment is full of light. That's not from any artificial light, that's coming from them. Please tell us, in this traditionally huge venue for book distribution, South America, what's your vision? What's happening?
Hare Krishna, Maharaj, Dandavats Pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. We are very happy to be here with all these wonderful devotees and to have the opportunity to share something here in the south part of the world. Yeah, we are very, very happy and very enthusiastic with all what is happening, and to hear and to see all of you around the world like one team doing all this effort together. I think that we will smash the goal, and we are very, very happy to share and to hear all the different techniques that all of you share and the insights, and this is very, very important for us to have your association. Here in South America, yeah, we have a lot of Srimad Bhagavatam collections. So now we need to give and to spread all this as many as we can. The economic situation in South America is not so good, maybe you know, but yeah, we will do our best effort, and with we will try to touch the hearts of the people by Srila Prabhupada's blessings and Lord Nityananda and all of you.
I know that Premi in South America are organizing groups of devotees, inspiring them through hearing and chanting, having them come together so they feel the efficacy of the process of devotional service. And from there, because they're building communities of devotees, those devotees are being engaged in book distribution as a part of their sadhana. So it's very exemplary, and we thank you. Yes, please say.
And in the last, sorry, Maharaj, and the last Bhadra campaign, only in the group that we are not so many, but they are very enthusiastic, and also by your encouragement and all you, we would distribute like in a very few days, like 4 or 5 collections of Srimad Bhagavatam, only in a few days, and all of them they were very excited. All in the specific day of Bhadra, that day they distribute. And today, yeah, we also have like some program here to encourage people to distribute books, the monthly Sankirtan Festival here in South America and Uruguay.
Thank you both for setting such an example. You're emanating enthusiasm is going all over the world. I just mentioned also that new people who come to Krishna consciousness, who are learning the process of Vaidhi Bhakti, can be engaged in book distribution. And when they are, they become elevated very quickly. They learn the process of devotional service by going out as well as hearing and chanting. And now it's my great pleasure to introduce my dear godbrother, senior godbrother, who is part of the revolution that started everything in San Francisco. He was one of the original book distributors from the San Francisco temple, and now over 50 years later, still leading book distribution wherever he goes. Tradas Prabhu, so good to have you. Thank you for making an appearance.
Thank you so much for inviting me. We had already scheduled a program before I knew about this program. We'd already scheduled a program with Nangam Banjari from Gainesville. We gave a wonderful class to all of our congregation. Oh no. Oh, sorry about that. I clicked something wrong. Can you still hear me? Am I on? Okay.
Yeah, you're loud and clear.
Loud and clear, okay.
Only we can't see your illustrious wife. She's over on this side.
Hiding in the corner here.
Okay, good.
Yeah, we just had about a 2-hour program, so we're at the end of that. Yes, I remember the enthusiasm that we had, the desire to please Srila Prabhupada, because he told us that if you really wanted to please him, you please distribute books. We knew that, but we really had no idea how to do it. But Keshava ordered stacks and stacks, cases. They were actually crates. They came in crates, like big wooden crates of Krishna books, and we put them in the basement of Valencia Street. They filled up the whole basement in Valencia Street. And Krishna sent one special devotee named Buddhimanta Prabhu, who I had the great honor of shaving his head when he joined. And he took that order to heart. We are all kind of groping. We would take a teachings of Lord Chaitanya in our bag with the BTGs on the street around the Harinam, but really had no idea what to do. But he took it to heart and just with pure enthusiasm, no technique in particular, no training, and no experience. He was very young. I think he was about 17 or 18 at the time, years old. But just with pure enthusiasm, he would actually go to people. He would knock on people's door and he would kneel down. He was as tall as Vaisheshika Prabhu, maybe even a little more. And he just by his enthusiasm, he would actually get on his knee like in the church and beg people, please take this book. And people would take it. and he was the first one to come back, having done 20 big Krishna books, and which was a miracle. And it was a total miracle. Him, and I think a very unknown devotee who also started with him, named Pramarnava, both of whom have since left their bodies, and certainly gone on to serve Prabhupada in the next Sankirtan mission somewhere else. But both of them, they were actually the two pioneers that actually broke open the storehouse, and actually started. I remember when we would take a group out. Satyadev was there, your good friend and associate. He was there on those first groups, and he was in a group. I would drive the van, and he was in our van. I would drop him off. We were going to Mill Valley, different towns around the Bay Area. And most of us would come back 3, 4, 5 Krishna books, but Buddhimanta and Pramarnava, they actually broke open and started distributing. It just shows by the strong and sincere desire to please Srila Prabhupada, then he can empower us. But it just depends on our sincere desire. And then I can say that every night before I go to bed, I'm reading again for the 3rd or 4th time Vaisheshika Prabhu's incredible book, Our Family Business. And I want to follow everything that he's written in the book, because by his sincerity and empowerment to the Sri Prabhupada's books, then Krishna also gave him so much experience, and he learned so many things of how to apply so many principles from the world also to expand Prabhupada's book distribution. I'm sure Srila Prabhupada would be extremely, extremely, extremely pleased. And I'm very happy to follow in his footsteps, even if I maybe happen to have been around before, but I kind of remain the same. But he's brought book distribution and the thing which gives the greatest pleasure to Srila Prabhupada, he's brought it to completely another level. And I think if we can all just take his lead, when Krishna empowers a devotee to perform such an incredible service, then we should all get in and follow behind. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to take all the advice and all the instructions and apply them. I'm not a very organized person by nature, but I'm trying to apply them, these principles, and see what we can do. At one time, Italy, many years ago, 30, 35 years ago, was the #1 in the world for a brief time in the early 80s. And I had the fortune to be serving the Sankirtan devotees at that time. And we hope we can arrive there again. It's been neglected for many, many, many years, since many things happened here. But we hope we can bring it up again. And I know that at this time, the Bhadra campaign, I really like this idea to have different campaigns that inspire devotees and get everyone focused on a mission, particular mission of distributing, in this case, Srimad Bhagavatam sets. Actually, we started doing in the early 80s. They printed, it was a different format, Grand Classics of India. And many devotees, including my wife, they began distributing door to door on regular Sankirtan, offices, door to door, sets of Srimad Bhagavatam. She was actually quite expert. Sometimes there were complete sets also. Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, the Bhagavad Gita, Nectar of Devotion, 21 volumes. And there was a devotee named Namahata, who also since left this body. He's probably there also in the Transcendental Sankirtan group somewhere else with Prabhupada. He would sometimes distribute whole, 5, 10 sets in a day, pallets of books, even back in those days. So, yes, I'm sorry if I'm going to.
I just want to ask you about the Italian Bhagavatams are very beautiful. Everybody knows that the aesthetic quality of what's done in Italy surpasses everything in the world. How's it looking for the sets of Bhagavatams for this Bhadra?
Problem is that because there's been a number of years with not as enough distribution, they have 300 sets left of Srimad Bhagavatams. They printed them. They're not the same ones that there were back in the 80s. It's a regular cover. And there's actually 27 volumes for the full 12 cantos.
Can we just sell all those then for this year?
It would be nice. We'll
I think that
try.
would be a good idea. If you just make do the 300 that are left.
Well, Madhusevita Prabhu, who's in charge of the BBT, has asked us to not, because before they'll be able to print other Srimad Bhagavatams, they're just now reprinting after many, many years, the Chaitanya Charitamrita sets in a new edition. And so they're investing all the money they have in the BBT to print the Chaitanya Charitamrita sets. So if we
$299 will be fine.
Huh?
$299 will be okay.
Okay, we'll leave a few for the.
I'll talk to him how to save it to Prabhu.
Okay.
But good if you can put a flag up with some number on it, whatever it is for the Bhadra, because the Italians are famous for being #1 in the world, and if you plant the flag, they'll rise to the occasion. I'm very sure of it.
Okay, we'll plant the
Thank you
flag.
very much.
Haribo, thank you.
Thank you very much for coming in and instilling in us what we need is this remembrance that it comes from the heart, the desire to please Srila Prabhupada, to step up, and everything else, all the good energy comes from that. And we feel very fortunate to have you and your wife as part of the global team. It's very important to us. Thank you so much to the two of you. Hare Krishna.
Haribo, thank you for having us.
Thank everyone for joining us for this meeting from around the world and investing your time and energy. There are many leaders on here that can speak. We just gave a representative sample. That's what's important. The asset that we have actually is all of you who are giving your life and soul to this book distribution project. We are one team. We're a global team, and we're going for bigger and bigger goals every year. And the reason we're doing it is for what it makes of us to achieve the goals. We grow in our ISKCON society by working together and getting more organized and doing more intensive hearing and chanting. And this year, we have a great challenge, and that is even in the conditions of the pandemic carried over from last year, we can parlay whatever we learned from last year and the confidence that we have from last year that it can be done into this year. Let's do it again. Let's smash the goal together. And as we learn that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the one who's coming to give us the energy and the resources to do it, and that we're the instruments, then we'll gain even more confidence. So 2 elements I'm going to end with that are most important for our work together as the global team. One is confidence. We should be very confident in Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's help and act as instruments. Don't be afraid to plant a flag and write a number on it, because once you do that, that's when Lord Chaitanya comes in, not before. The second is advocacy. We have to advocate in ways that will inspire everyone around us internally and externally, in gentle ways, in ways that leave a good impression, but in ways that move the energy towards compassion and expanding the Sankirtan movement. This is a movement we have to move. And the best of all movement that we can make is to get the books into the hands of those who are suffering in the material world. They're living entities from the spiritual world they've just forgotten. Thank you very much to Sham Mohini and Anukul Seva for their relentless organization of these programs. Thank you very much, leaders from all over the world. Dear Srila Prabhupada, dear Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, dear Shri Panchatattva, Shri Radha Madan Mohan, Shri Radha Govinda, Shri Radha Gopinath, Shri Lakshmi Nrsingadev. If you so desire, please empower our global team so that we can feel the power of working together to reach higher and higher goals in your service for distributing Srila Prabhupada's books all over the world. Please let us smash all our goals and ride to victory so we can give you a proper offering at the end of this year. Thank you very much for considering our request. Om Tat Sat. Everyone who agrees with this prayer, please unmute and say Hare Krishna.
Hare
Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Krishna Kripa Sindhave Chapatita.
Patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah.
Gauti Vaishnava
Vaishnava
Aho.
ki jai.
Hare Bol.
Jai.
Hare Bol.